everybody. Welcome. Make yourself comfortable. We're doing our opening meditation. And so just close your eyes if you feel like it. And just become present with your breath. And just breathe into the moment, to the right now, right now. What's happening right now? What's happening right now? Just breathe. And just breathe. Okay, so the goal here is to allow our minds to come back home to the right now. Right now. What's happening right now? And who is happening right now? We are remembering now. Let's practice the holy instant. Practicing the holy instant, according to the Course, is taking this moment now and seeing it as all there is of time. This is all that's going on right now. And it's sufficient. It's perfect. What does the present moment actually feel like? And can your peace expand to include everything that seems to be happening right now? Is your peace that big? Can your peace expand to include all the sounds, all the people, all the happenings around you now? Is your peace big enough to contain it all? So let's practice allowing our peace to expand, to contain it all, everything that's happening right now. Breathe into that expanding peace. Let your peace grow and expand. Let it fill your body. Let it fill this room. Let it encompass this city. Let it encompass this state. Let it encompass this nation. Let your peace expand to encompass the world. Your peace is that powerful and your peace is that free. Let it go. Let it go where it would go, which is everywhere. How big can you let your peace grow? And just breathe it in. Beautiful. All right. Just bring your awareness back to the room, back to your body. All right. Did anybody let their piece get bigger? Just a little. All right. Did any of your pieces go where you didn't expect it to go? Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to go over there, you know? All right, that's what we're practicing here. How big can you expand your piece? In other words, how much can you apply your forgiveness to? How far can you allow your forgiveness to go? All right. So now we're going to have the spirit.
Wait a second. Okay.
We're going to have the spirit choose which section we're going to do, just like last time. So anybody was here last time I taught?
Yes.
No. I made sure not to come back. All right. Last time, I had the Holy Spirit choose what section we did, and it chose one of the hardest special relationship sections. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have it choose first which book that we choose that we are in, whether it's text, workbook, or teacher's manual. And then once the book has been chosen randomly, then we'll go from there and go into that. Choose from there. All right. So.
I've been doing that ever since you taught us that.
Really?
Yes.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody like to choose the first book? Oh, how about you, nice little girl in the front row? You look familiar. All right, so just push where it says generate. Tap where it says generate. Okay, so the second book, which is workbook. Okay, so now we know there's 365 daily lessons. So we will now choose which lesson. Okay. So who would like to, you, young lady, do you really want to be responsible for what lesson that we do? Are you ready for that level of responsibility? Because if they don't like it, they may blame you. Is that okay? Are you used to that?
Oh, let her have the responsibility.
Okay. You guys ready for a 10-year-old to choose what workbook lesson we do? All right. Okay, tap generate.
207.
207 it is,
Okay,
ladies and
can I
gentlemen.
Phone back.
Okay, yes. Wait a minute, you chose the lesson, then you're going to go back to Netflix. I see how you are. All right, you guys, 207 in the workbook. Okay, so let's see. Okay, my book doesn't have the workbook. Let's see. I'm going to have to actually use a book. Oh my God. All right. That's ridiculous. Let's see if I have. Yeah. Thanks. Oh, it's one of these. Oh my God, it's the ones. It's near where I'm at. Okay. 207. Okay. So, and if we're going to do, we'll do 207, and if we still have more time, which we might, since it's only a few lines, then we'll just go on from there and do whatever's next. Okay, so this is lesson 207 in the workbook. Does everybody see it who wants it? Okay? All right. So, this is just where I happen to be in the workbook. Thank you, Aria. And this is... I love this part of the workbook because these lessons, these early 200 lessons, they're just short prayers. They're these beautiful prayers, okay? And this is the part, it's a phase in the workbook where it says basically the whole purpose of this part of the workbook is basically where you give an invitation to God, and then you sit back and you let yourself be answered. Okay? So the workbook lessons up to this point are very long. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. They go from several pages to just a few lines and just a prayer. So basically, this is where we make our invitation to God, and we sit back in faith that we have been heard and that we will be answered. Okay, so I guess that's what we're supposed to do today. All right? That's a big enough practice in itself, eh? All right. So then it says what we're supposed to do here with these is we are supposed to start with the theme of this particular section. And the theme is this: I am not a body, I am free. Because for I am still as God created me. Okay, so that's what our teacher wants us to say each time before doing the prayers in this section. Okay? So, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. Alright, so that's, and we'll come back to that. Because for some reason, our teacher wants us to say that over and over and over and over. I wonder why. Let's see. I wonder why our teacher would want us to say, I am not a body. I am not a body. Let's see. Could it be, we're obsessed with our bodies? Could it be we identify with our bodies? And what's the next sentence after he says to say, I'm not a body? I am free. Which I guess would have to mean that us identifying with our bodies, I am my body, I am this body, I am Anna, is my way of not being free. That is my way of not being free. Okay, how does I keep myself from being free? How does I keep myself from being free? By seeing that this is me. That this is me. I am this. Because that's got to be a limitation, obviously. If to say I'm not this is to be free, then that means that my freedom means is to not identify with this. Is to say I'm not a body. I'm free. Okay, now if I'm not a body and that enables me to be free, then what does that mean? That means what does it mean? It means, well, I'm still as God created me. If I'm not a body, what am I? I'm exactly as I was created. I'm exactly as I was created by my Creator. Which is how? Free. Okay, so I can either be a body and my worth be this. My worth be what I do with my body. My worth be what my body looks like. My worth and my value be what my body has, what it does, who it does it with, right? That could be my value. Or I can be free. Wow. Okay. So freedom would have to mean that my value and my worth isn't limited to this, what it does and what it has, and who it does and who it has, right? And the only way to realize I'm not a body is to remember that the truth about myself is I remain exactly as I was created. All right. So that's what our teacher wants us to start with. Imagine that. Okay. So then it says the workbook lesson is I bless the world because I bless myself. I bless the world. Why? Because I bless myself. Well, that just sounds so selfish, doesn't it? That sounds so narcissistic. He's like, yeah, you could use a little bit of positive narcissism in that regard. In other words, the way that I'm going to help the world is I bless myself, right? Isn't it interesting? The way that we have learned is the way to help the world is to sacrifice, right? That's the way you want to help somebody, you want to be of service to people, you want to be a good person. You know what that means, sacrifice. Anybody here heard that? Okay. Anybody heard that? Anybody heard it said, Love is sacrifice.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to help other people. You want to be a good person. You want to be of service to the planet. You know what that means. It means you sacrifice. You give up what you love to do. You give up your freedom. You give up your own identity. And you become what other people want you to be. And you do what other people want you to do. Right? In other words, give up yourself. Right? That's, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of really nice, lovely caretakers in here, eh? Right? That's what we've learned it means to be of service and to help other people, to bless the world. He's saying, actually, it's the opposite. Yeah, the way that you help the world, the way you bless the world, the way you be of service to others is you bless yourself. What? Bless myself? You know, I don't want to be narcissistic. How rude. Okay, now we're going to hear what it means to bless yourself. Okay, so we're going to hear about what it means to bless yourself, which is how you can bless the world. All right, so it says, God's blessing shines upon me from within my heart, where He abides. Say what? God's... Sometimes I read a sentence and I'm like, I do not know what I just read. What is it? Does anybody have that experience where you're reading a line from the course and then you just like, and you have to read it again, and then you have to read it again, and you have to, it's a simple sentence. It's not even a long sentence, and you have to read it again. Okay, it says, God's blessing shines upon me from within my heart, where God abides. Okay, so where does God hang out?
In my heart.
In my heart. Wow. So it's interesting. God shines on me from within me. Isn't that interesting? I like that. God shines on me from within me. Okay. And then it says, and I need but turn to God, who's within my heart. And what will happen if I only turn to God? If I just turn to God. That's all. It didn't say anything else. Just turn like this. If I just turn to God, what happens? Every sorrow melts away. Nice. How'd you like that today?
Yes.
Right on. How'd you like that? I was having a day. I was full of sorrow, and I just turned to God, and it all melted away. Doesn't that sound too good to be true?
No.
Hey, person who's practiced it. In the back. Spoken like somebody who's actually tried it. I need but turn to God, and all my, not all, but every sorrow melts away. As what? As I accept God's boundless love for me. Nice. Okay. All right, so does that sound like a process of healing?
Yeah.
It's a formula for healing. Okay, and so what is healing? Well, it's a process where I allow my sorrows to melt away. Who ever heard of that as a process or a formula for healing? Right? I thought healing was supposed to be this long, complicated, expensive process. You know, where you go into therapy for years, or you have to pay expensive remedies. But according to the Course, healing is turning to God who lives within you, and then your sorrows melt away. Wow. So did it say that my sorrows get analyzed away? Did it say that my sorrows get punished away?
No.
Did it say my sorrows get repressed away? It's just they melt. That's a nice formula, huh? A nice remedy. Nice, huh? I like that. And cheap too. Can't beat that. I turn to God who lives in my heart, and my sorrows melt away and are replaced with, okay, it's not like they melt away and then there's a void. They melt away and then they are replaced. They are replaced with something. Replaced with what?
God's
God's boundless love for me. Wow. Wait a minute. A boundless love in me? A boundless love for me? A love that has no limits? For me? For me? No limits? A love for me that has no limits. No bounds. That's in me? Who knew? Who knew? But that's the formula for healing in this particular lesson. I just turn to God. In other words, what does that mean, do you think? I just turn to God.
I think it means I turn my thoughts to God.
Nice. You turned it nice, exactly. What else?
Well, turning my focus and fascination.
Turn your focus and fascination, nice, to God.
I open my heart
I open my heart
to God.
to God. Beautiful.
Acknowledge the presence within.
And acknowledge that God's there.
Just even really sit and be with that. Just be in silence with that heart space.
Nice. Just be in silence with that heart space. Nice. Yeah, thank you. That's what it means. All those things. This is what it means to just turn to God. You know, for a moment, just all what you said. I'm going to focus on that heart space, or focus on, acknowledge that God is there. You know, oh, God's in me. That's a radical concept right there. You know, we're so programmed to turn to God outside of ourselves. Oh God, please God, in this begging, supplicant kind of way. Please God, I promise I'll be good if, you know, we have all, you know, that's the God we were taught, you know. So just turning to God, and our sorrows melt away, and our sorrows are replaced with this feeling of like, wow, I am really I'm loved. I'm just loved. Can you imagine if that really was the way that you felt about yourself? Can you imagine what kind of confidence you would have about yourself? Can you imagine how you would walk through the world if you really had accepted that kind of love for yourself? There was a love that has no limit, no conditions. It's like, doesn't matter what I do. Doesn't matter what I do. I'm still loved. I'm just loved. Just end of story. Where there's no more conditions on the love that you have for yourself, or the way that you feel loved, no conditions. You know, it doesn't matter what mistakes you made. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks of you today. It doesn't matter what you did. It doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter anymore.
We're innocent.
You're innocent because the love that God has for you and is shining on you all the time, shining on you, shining on you, shining on you, shining on you, is boundless. There's no conditions. None. Wow. That sure is a love beyond what I can understand. Sure is beyond my version of love, my definition of love. But that's what we're going for here. That's the whole goal of this curriculum. How to accept that kind of love, number one, and number two, that it's already in there, shining on me from in there. Wow.
So you're saying that we can imagine it, but we haven't accepted it, so we're
Right.
not truly living it. So just like letting the concepts and the ideas come into our awareness, is that all we can really do right now?
Yeah, we are practicing acceptance. That's what we're doing. You know, you either accept or not. You know, I mean, you either accept that you are loved, period, or you don't.
Exactly.
But the Course says we're practicing. Practicing. I'm practicing accepting. You know, and one of the ways that we practice accepting is in those moments where we're tempted to judge ourselves and to feel bad about our mistakes, as if it's not okay to still be learning. And we notice that we are not experiencing boundless love for ourselves. And so then we practice. All right, okay. I accept I accept God's love for me, which doesn't give a damn about any of this. I accept. I would like to accept a love that is boundless, that is not limited by this at all. You know, I'd love to accept a love that's shining on me that doesn't even see what's happening, doesn't care what I did or what mistakes I've made. You know, just doesn't care.
That's a question that's been on my mind for 3 days. No, I think a week. I think I know the answer. What God's experiencing is my emotion, because I can't think of anything else what we call God's experience.
Right.
The infinite mind is seeing us as we are, pure, holy, bright. There's 1,000 suns in it. But regardless, so since I'm experiencing this, it's not experiencing this. I am, my reaction to it is what
That's
it's experience.
Well, it is that love is experiencing you.
Right, right.
But it is absolutely not concerned at all, not one bit, with the fact.
So it's my emotions and the love within me that's being the experience.
That's a great question. And the Course does say that God, it's not like God sees, it's not like God is like, oh, I can't believe you made that mistake again.
I know.
You know, I can't believe you did that again. How long you been working on this one? Jeez, where? How long you been studying this course? You know, but the Course says that God knows in His own experience that our hearts are not open to His love. That's what He knows. He knows His channels are not open to Him. So He's not concerned about the details at all. You know, He just knows, oh, my children, they sleep and they need to be wakened. Oh, they're not open to my love. That's what the Course says that God knows about our condition.
Okay.
Yeah. So God knows that I'm not accepting His love. You know, I can either be accepting that God's love for me is boundless and try to accept that, or I can be turning my back on it and limiting my love.
And that's
judging.
Hell. That's hell. It's described hell.
Exactly. Just like the sun in the sky, I can either be like, oh, the sun, or I can be like this. You know, I can either turn my back on it, right, or I can just turn into it and go, oh, this feels so good, right? Those are my choices.
So,
But I can't keep the sun from shining on me. I can turn my back on the sun and I can open an umbrella and I can run into a cave, but I still can't keep it from shining on me. Thank you, God.
so I have these experiences where I read stuff in the Course and like a part of me is just like, there's no words to describe just the beauty of what I'm reading. But then it's like I still realize that I still am not there yet. So I try to make sense of that bit. Maybe that's where I just don't need to make sense of it.
Yes, exactly. You're trying to make sense of it is what got you in this mess. Yeah, exactly. It's, you know, the Course says that understanding means acceptance. And I love that because I have a very analytical mind, like you, Chris. And so when the Course was like, you know, to understand this material doesn't mean you go, oh, I get what it's saying. To understand this or to get it, to understand it means I accept it. So if you want to understand what it's saying, then you would say, I accept it, or I want to accept that. I want to accept that. And when you accept it and go, yes, I accept that that's the truth, even if I don't believe it. Well, obviously I don't. But I accept that that's the truth, even if I don't believe it, then comes understanding. So it's not reversed. We think, first I got to understand it, and then I'll experience it. Of course, that's not how that goes. First you go, I accept that, or I want to accept that. I want to accept that there's a love shining on me from within me that's limitless. It's just absolutely unconditional. It's limitless. I want to accept that. I don't believe it, you know. I don't believe it, so I don't experience it completely yet. but I accept that, or I want to accept that. And then I experience it. And that totally makes an end run around our intellect. I mean, the author of the course is a genius. It's obviously not a human mind. Now, I read this course, I'm like, that didn't come from any human mind. That's for dang sure. No human mind wrote that. At least that's the way that it seems to me when I read it. And so it knows how our human mind works, and it makes this total end run around it, such that you experience it not because you understand it, but purely because you say yes, even if you don't believe it.
What I find ironic, though, is that it was scribed through intellectuals.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. It sure was. Exactly. Exactly. No.
I think one of the areas that many of us are growing is words become our obstacle.
Indeed.
And it's particularly true when you look at words like accept.
Yes.
Right? I mean, at the beginning of the course it says you need not accept.
Right.
Right?
Exactly. That's
Wait,
right.
I have to accept.
Right.
And believe. And so often in our intellect we come to whatever mechanical definition we have.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so if my mechanical definition of accept is I believe and have transcribed it into my life,
Right.
which for many people that's what accept means.
Right.
But my experience of that particular passage for myself has been actually to be willing to experience its flow in my life.
Nice.
And
So-
to put aside all thought. And that truly is for myself to experience the divine flow. I have to put aside my mechanical thoughts, because all thoughts are habit.
That's right.
All thoughts are
Yes.
habit. And so even the thought of the word acceptance is habit. And so
Right.
we can move aside those words to the experience.
Nice. So, yeah, thank you for saying that the first obstacle is a definition of the word accept. Acceptance. And so for you, acceptance means allowing it to flow into and onto the experiences of your life. Very nice. Very nice. Any other definitions of acceptance?
Practice.
Practice. Nice.
Practice.
Just similar to what you were saying.
Allow.
Allow. Uh-huh.
And I like to think that the course is not a textbook. It's not something that I'm going to study and learn and
Right.
reach an outcome.
Right. Okay.
It is, as CJ was saying, it's just something that you experience. You allow.
You allow. There's that word again. Allow. Yeah. Nice.
And the part about I want to. It's like,
Yes.
even if I don't understand what it means, I want to.
See,
it brings
that's-
me to tears.
yes.
I want to.
Yes,
so
I
bad.
want to. Exactly. Exactly. And that's really what it... Yeah, go ahead.
Well, this exact thing that is being described is something I experienced in a near-death experience. And it was that God's love is absolutely unconditional.
Yes.
Absolutely. There's nothing you can do to change it, get rid of it. There's nothing bad enough. It just is. And
Yes.
so my experience was that to accept that was to be in heaven.
Yeah. Amen.
And to deny it was literally hell.
Literally. Beautiful. Beautiful.
So it's, you know, it's a completely different experience of life in the world. And
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
exactly. And I have a hobby of studying the near-death experience stories of people.
okay.
They inform me, because I hear what they say, exactly what you said, and then I like to apply that. And the Course does say, the Course says you can either learn that you're not a body, you are free, you're still as God created you upon death, at death, sure.
Yeah.
Or you can do it now. And the Course, and I remember, and so I was like, oh, right, I could learn it, I can learn this when I leave my body, or the Course says, or you can learn it through these lessons. Because it's the same thing that people, when they leave their body, learn. That's what they get. Oh, God's love is life. It's just what is. It's just what is. It is life. It is everything. There is no limit or condition on it. And it's what you are. It's just what you are. Right? And so you can, that's what people do learn when they leave their body. But I would like to do it now. You know, I don't want to have, so, you know, I'd like to just save some time and do it now. And you can learn through these lessons because that's what you're learning when you leave your body anyway. Oh, I'm not a body. Anybody who's had a near-death experience or astrally traveled or whatever, that's what they get. Oh, well, I'm not a body. Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's, oh wait, what's that over there? Oh, it looks like me. Oh, wow, I'm not a body. That's what people who have had near-death experience say. There's their body and they're over here. That's interesting. Okay. Now, once we have that experience, then now we are free. Now we are free. Okay. All right. And to me, the whole acceptance is saying, I don't believe all this, but I accept that it's true. You know, and that's what enabled me to move faster in this curriculum, meaning get to the results faster. What results? Peace. The Course says that's the purpose of this curriculum, is not to become really smart or even wise or intelligent. That's not the goal of this course. It doesn't say the goal of this course is enlightenment. It says the goal of this curriculum is peace. That's it. It's this #1 goal. And so what has enabled me to get to peace faster than I had been allowing myself to experience peace was just saying, you know, I may not believe it, but I accept that what it's telling me is true. You know, I accept that what the Course tells me is true. I'm not debating with the Course anymore. I'm not trying to figure out if the Course is trying to scam me and, you know, who wrote it anyway. And, oh, there's an inconsistency I just saw. Right? I've got to the point where I just accept that it's true. Even if my ego fights it, even if I don't believe it, I accept that it's true. I accept it. And so now I'm not fighting it. I'm just in it. I'm just accepting it. And then I've been able to move faster to peace, back to peace.
Like accepting that it's my chosen path.
Yes, nice. You're accepting that it's your chosen path. Nice. I'm just accepting that it's true, even if I don't get what it's saying. And obviously I don't. Not all of it. Right? Obviously I don't believe it all. Or I would practice it every moment. You know, obviously I don't believe it all. Or I'd be doing nothing but forgiving. I'd be doing nothing but doing what it says to do. But I'm not doing that yet. Yes.
So, like as we're talking about like not being a body, that we are free. Like, there's a part of me that's like terrified. And
thank you for saying that.
There's a part of me that's terrified, and the reason why is because, like, I believe in reincarnation. So then I believe, okay, so then, like, let's say I die. And like I'm a body now, or I'm not a body. Right. I am free. Yeah. But then.
And then you're born again.
So yeah. So
what a drag.
So then.
Why do you think babies scream?
Yeah.
When they're born.
If I reincarnate again, then is that like a punishment or no?
Well, no, it's not. Maybe your own on yourself. Maybe. Some people, plenty of people get born to punish themselves. You know, I'm sure I've done it a few times. I would like to punish myself. I think I'll go be born on Earth. What better way to punish a soul? Now, it's not God doing it, that's for darn sure, because we know God's love is boundless. Boundless. Right? But a lot of us have chosen to punish ourselves that way. You know, this is a place where those who have not forgiven themselves come to learn how to forgive themselves for nothing. That's what the Course says, right? If you're still punishing yourself for nothing, and there's certainly nothing in the eyes of God. God isn't like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. You know, to God, all your mistakes, all your sins, all the things you feel guilty about, all the things you feel ashamed about, to God, they are nothing. Because they accomplish nothing. They are nothing. They don't do anything. They don't change your identity. They don't change your worth. They don't change your lovableness. They don't change a damn thing. And the Course says what leads to nothing didn't happen. Pretty radical, huh? There's some logic for you. If it doesn't lead to anything, it is nothing. That's what the Course says. If it doesn't lead to anything, it doesn't have existence. And your mistakes don't lead to anything.
It's illusion.
It didn't change anything. It didn't change your identity, your worth, your value, your lovableness, not one bit. It didn't do anything. All my mistakes, everything I've done, it didn't do anything. And so it doesn't have any real existence. That's why the Course says the ego has no real existence. It doesn't lead to anything.
It has no power.
It has no power. It doesn't change a darn thing. You know, God created reality. And do you think God created a reality that can be changed because you didn't show up to work on time? Please. God, look how pitiful we think about God. God's creation can be made sinful and guilty because you wore your skirt too short. Wow. We think God's like us. You know? So basically, Earth, according to the Course, this is a place where you come to learn how to forgive yourself for nothing. I forgive myself for nothing. Wow. See the joke? When you hear the joke we played on ourselves, then you start to laugh. You know, it's a joke. What? I'll be born into hell? I'll be pushed through that tiny little hole? Born into the world through pain, growth attended through pain and suffering, and then I die? But what? For what? To forgive myself for nothing? What? That's what happens when you wake up. That's the thought you have. I'm going to go through all that for nothing? To forgive myself for whatever happened? It's a joke.
That's equal to love, though, forgiving yourself for nothing, right?
That's right. And that's equal to love. Yeah. And that's what forgiveness means. Mm-hmm. You know, we're not forgiving ourselves for what we did. We're forgiving ourselves for nothing. We're forgiving ourselves for thinking that we had the power to change the boundless love of God into something conditional and mean. That's what we're forgiving ourselves for. I'm forgiving myself for trying to limit my love for nothing, and I'm trying to forgive myself for limiting God's love for me for nothing.
I like to say I forgive myself for dreaming it and being identified with it.
Exactly, exactly. I like to say I forgive myself for wanting to suffer. I forgive myself for wanting to punish myself for nothing.
You were talking about laughing, and there's this line that I love in the Course where it says about the tiny mad idea that the Son of God forgot to laugh at, and that's the one. That's what started.
That's the one. That's the one. Let's see. I'm going to separate from eternal oneness universe that's nothing but love, and come in, be born into the world through suffering, have my growth be attended through suffering, and then die. And usually not in a peaceful way. Right. For why? For what? You know, that's an insane idea. That's the tiny mad idea we forgot to laugh at. That's what got us here. All right. Any other questions on that? Okay. It's 1:45. So why don't we stop here, and from here we'll just do some announcements and then an integration meditation. And an integration meditation is what I do at the end of all my classes. And the purpose of that is where we take the ideas and we practice accepting them. We close our eyes and take the ideas within and practice accepting them, applying them. Mostly, we just practice feeling them. Like, if you accepted this idea, what would it feel like? That's a great practice technique with these ideas. After you've read them, close your eyes and go, if I really believed that, what would that feel like? What would it feel like inside of me if I really did believe that? If I really accepted that unconditionally? And we just feel what it feels like to feel forgiven, or to feel a love that has no limit or condition shining on you from within you. What would that feel like? You know, you can experience that when you die, or you can experience it today.
I call that my imagination meditation, where I'm not pretending to believe something I don't really believe, but I'm just imagining what it would feel like to believe it.
Exactly, exactly. And we've learned from science and physiology that when you mix emotion with an idea, that's when that idea gets wired into your neurological network. You know, thought and feeling combined, that's what wires things in. And so that's why in the meditation work I do in my classes, I'm using the ideas that we just heard, but then I'm trying to bring in all the levels of feeling, all the senses, smell, hearing, sight, emotion, to go to mix it with, so that it sets in the memory or in the neurological network. Okay? So, you know, we don't want it to be just an intellectual exercise. We want to actually use it, practice what it's saying, accept what it's offering. I mean, these lessons are offerings. These lessons are God going, here, I love you, please, please take this. Please take my gift of boundless love for you. I love you. Take it for yourself. To me, that's what these lessons are. And then we are like, oh, okay, all right, okay, sure, God, boundless love, what's that, right? And then that's our practice. Okay, so announcements first. So I do my own Course in Miracles class every Monday night, 7:30 to 9, at the Rocky Mountain Miracle Center. That's in the DU area. Okay, every Monday night, love offering, drop in, every Monday night. I have a holistic counseling practice called Miracle Psychotherapeutics. I'm a professional counselor, but I also have combined traditional psychotherapy with A Course in Miracles. And that's one of my loves. And so I'm available for a Miracle Psychotherapeutic session where we take the ideas in the Course and we apply them specifically to whatever area you need a miracle in. Okay, so I'm available for that. And you can go to my website, annakujawa.com, to find out more about that. All my classes are on YouTube for free. So you can go to YouTube, just put in my name, Anna Kujawa, real simple name, and you can see my classes for free. And I started a new YouTube series called Lullaby Course. And what that is I'm just reading the Course to music. That's all I'm doing. It's me sitting in a chair, reading with music. But I'm reading in such a way that the lullaby that the Course is to me, or the love letter from God that the Course is for me, I'm just reading it like I would be reading to a child that I was trying to soothe. Because that's what I hear in here. I just hear God's voice going, you're safe, you're innocent, I love you, nothing happened, you didn't do anything, it's just a bad dream, you're safe now, you're innocent, it's okay, I still love you, you're innocent, you're safe. That's what I hear the Course saying to me. It's like a love letter from God, it's like a lullaby. And so I need that kind of comforting because often my mind is frantic with feverish fantasies. Born of fear. A lot of F's. A lot of F words there. Can anybody relate? Okay. If you got a mind that is frantic with feverish fantasies of fear, then your mind needs comforting. And not false comforting, like, it's okay to be okay, it's okay, it's okay. You know, we call that repression, suppression comforting, you know. But real comforting by a voice that goes, nothing happened. It's okay, nothing happened. Still safe, still innocent, still loved, still totally lovable, right? And so I just read the Course like that, you know. I put on my Mother Goose hat, and mostly I started it for myself. As a sleep aid, as a meditation aid, and also when I ran out of Valium. Because that happens sometimes.
Yeah,
and it's cheaper than Valium, I've noticed.
I've seen it, and it's really nice. Thank you for
you.
doing that. That was a sleep aid for me.
Thank you. Yes, I have some friends who have insomnia, and they were complaining about insomnia, and I just said, hey, check out these videos, and they wrote me back and they said it worked.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and you can even transfer it to an MP3 and just listen to it too.
Yeah. What I did was I went into my YouTube and I made a playlist. So it's just all of them. So I just play it through the night. Yeah. I just play it through the night. And the dreams.
Nice.
Oh, to be able to sleep listening to these words, very sweet. Very sweet, very comforting. Because your mind never sleeps. Now you sleep, that's obvious. But your mind never does. Of course, that's the thing we've forgotten about our minds. They never sleep. They never sleep. They never lose their creative power, ever. Just because your body's asleep doesn't mean your mind isn't still learning. So, all right. So, how about it? How about we do an integration meditation? All right. So, let's see. And thank you guys for being here. And thank you for not running out of the room when you saw it wasn't Earl. I have had people do that. Oh, it's not Earl.
Cuter than Earl.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I don't know, Earl's pretty cute. But thank you for that. All right. Okay, so close your eyes. All right, so you got a nice little lullaby music going on. So first I want you to just tune into how you feel right now. How does it feel to have heard these ideas? Beautiful. Let's just start with what our lesson had us start with, and that's this. Tell yourself, I'm not a body. I'm free. For I do remain exactly as God created me. Heal yourself and comfort yourself with the truth about yourself. I'm not a body, I am free. And for just a moment, imagine how you would feel if you accepted that you've not changed one whit since the moment you were created by pure love, unconditional love. Whew. How would you feel if you had accepted that you remain right now exactly as you were first created by unconditional, boundless love? how would you feel? And now I want you to imagine God's love, God's blessing shining upon you from within your heart. God's blessing. God is blessing you. Imagine God's blessing shining upon you from within your own heart. So for a moment, I want you to imagine God's gratitude to you, shining into you from within your heart, flooding your body with the golden light, the golden rays of His blessing, His love. God's blessing shining out from your heart into your body, through your body, into the world. Like your body contains the spotlight of God's love. And that spotlight of God's love is shining out from your heart, through your body, into the world. Everyone you look on, everybody you think of, all over the world. And I want you to bring to your awareness a situation in which you have been experiencing sorrow, psychic, or psychological, or emotional, physical pain. I want you to bring that to your awareness. I want you to see that situation in your mind's eye. See yourself in the middle of that situation. And then in the middle of that situation, I want you to see yourself turning to God. Turn to God. Turn to God and feel God's boundless love shining on you, wrapping you in it, covering you like a blanket of surety, like a blanket of surety and protection. Imagine God's love wrapping you, covering you with its boundlessness. And as you feel God's unconditional, boundless love for you engulfing you, I want you to imagine your sorrow about this situation melting, just melting away. Going back and dissolving into the nothingness from which it came, just melting. And tell yourself, I bless the world. I bless the world because I accept God's boundless love for me right now. In this situation, I accept God's boundless love for me. I've been wrong about myself. I've been wrong about everything. I've been mistaken. But I accept God's boundless love for me right now. I don't understand it, but I accept it. Feel your sorrow melt away. You are as God created you. Nothing's changed. You're still innocent. You're still safe. You're still only love. You haven't done anything but be perfect from the day you were created. And now I want you for just a moment to imagine yourself walking the world, blessing the world with that innocence, that perfection. Imagine yourself walking through the world, shining that light, radiating that innocence to everyone and everything. What does that feel like? And then with your eyes closed, just take another deep breath. Whew! And bring your awareness back to the room and back to your body. All right. Remembering, this is yours anytime, anywhere. I really appreciate you guys being here. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for being here and helping us all to hear that today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are entitled to miracles. Then I'll see you next time I see you. Thank you. Oh, I totally forgot to